reason, if we consider scientific reasons, we would like to ask them. See, if we were a vegetarian, if God were to send us as a vegetarian person, then he would have sent us with the teeth full of the teeth which are given to the herbivorous animals. So if you consider the teeth, this is the teeth, these are the canine teeth, and this is generally given to those animals which are carnivorous in nature, like the lions and the leopards. And if had God wanted us to be introduced to only the vegetarian food, then he would not have granted us these extra teeth, canine teeth, which are used for the basically animals. You consider all the scientific reasoning. You consider the hormones available inside the human body. They are different from those present in the herbivorous animals. They are meant to digest both kind of foods, and non-vegetarian food is of course healthy. It gives the proteins, amino acid, and other things. And another scientific thing is the water, and the water cycle. The water regulates from air to ground. In a similar way, we are a cycle of the food. If we don't regulate the food cycle, a particular kind of animal, let's say we all the people stop eating the non-vegetarian food, what would happen is the number of animals, herbivorous animals like goats and the cow, they would increase in numerous quantity, and they would uh, uh, attack the fields, grasses, the vegetables on the ground, and they would destroy everything out there. So excess of even the herbivorous animals is a disaster for the society. So the whole concept for me to introduce this topic in a scientific manner is so that that in today's generation, a person who is involved in dawa, he has a benefit that he might end up learning many things with related to scientific things, and with regards to the true teachings of Islam. Because the problem with the current society of Muslims is that we generally learn everything by rote. So we hardly understand the meaning of the Quran and the teachings, and due to which we find it very difficult to introduce Islam to the other people. They might have many questions for us, and we are not able to answer them the way we would like to. In Quran mentions that preach to the people with all wisdom and beautiful preachings. Don't argue with them unnecessarily. If they are willing to take the message, give them. If they are not willing, don't force upon it. So forcibly should not be by force. It should be something as a friend. As a friend, you are discussing things, and you should be use the principle of wisdom. Give some example. Without example, they won't be able to understand, and give them some scientific knowledge. So it's most necessary for the Muslims, the current society, to be educated in science in addition to the religious knowledge. And this is the high time that we introduce scientific knowledge to them. There might be many other things. They might be asking that how come God is one? So we should be able to give them beautiful answers. So this is the part of wisdom. We should not say like that. No, God is one because we have been told. They would say, they would retaliate with the same answer. No, our God is three, or our God is 3 million because this has been told to us in the scriptures. So that means we are contradicting each other. We are necessarily arguing over no reason, without any reasoning. So the reasoning should be something like, and we should give a reason like I give you one example. If God were to be more than one, then each and every god would have tried to exercise his influence over the earth. There might have been a different variety of people coming up. One god is generating a different variety of people, the other god is generating a different variety of people, and there might have been conflicts coming up every now and then. You would not see a world full of peace and serenity right now. You would see something or the other happening on over the skies. Gods are fighting over each other, or they are pushing over the agenda over the public on the earth. No, worship me. The second god would say, no, worship me. And in the indifference of the power of the god would have led to the killing of each other. Then if the gods are killing each other and beating each other, who would take care of the entire world? So the whole idea is So the answer should be based upon some examples, the examples uh, which demands human reasoning, which uh, which are compatible with the science. If the consider the case of science, we see a lot of galaxies, lot of stars, lot of things. Who is managing all these things? There has to be a perfect designer, and the perfect designer cannot be multiple, cannot be multi-tool. It has to be a single designer, if so that all the things which are revolving, it has to revolve around a center point. And the center point, who is who? The one who is regulating all these things. Just like the sun is the center point for our universe. Sun is a mono thing, it's not a double thing. We are not revolving around multiple suns, we are revolving on a single sun. And the combination of the sun and the other things are revolving around a center point, which is, I think, a Milky Way or something like that. So there is always a center point around which the entire universe is moving, and that is a single god. It cannot be a multiple god. So if we compare, we are able to give the justification of science, then that gives the reasonable answer to the people. So this is what the aim of dawa is in the current society. I give you another example: pork. If a common Muslim interacts with a Christian, it almost ends up in an argument that today the pork is furnished in a very clean environment. They hardly have, if we process the pork in a very clean environment, there's hardly any chance of getting the so they are no longer dirty animals. So if we process them in a very clean environment, the answer to that is pork, whatever way you consider scientifically, or it's a harmful animal. The fat itself is a fat which accumulates lot of fat inside the body of the human beings. It accumulates a lot of fat. And even if we are able to go and get rid of the worms available in it, still it has some qualities, some inbuilt qualities of homosexuality and other qualities due to, the kind of animal you eat, the kind of response in behavior you get. This kind of animal has a tendency to become dirty, to go into a dirty place, to go some homosexual thing, that is incest, and that might cause a corresponding response in the human being's behavior also. I just give you an example in the Islam and maybe in other religions as well. The eating of the carnivorous animals is not allowed. The reason solely is because the carnivorous animals have a tendency to eat other animals, but and they give a slight harsh attitude to the tendency to the harsh to give harsh attitude to the person who is eating them. That is the reason they are recommended not to eat. It's like a compulsion upon us not to eat the carnivorous animals, like the kites, the eagles, the vulture. We are not allowed to eat them because they give a sense of because they are the carnivorous in nature. They give a sort of change of attitude and behavior. In a similar way, a pork is an animal. Even though we keep preserving him in a good climate and thing, still it has a tendency to do some incest jobs. And that is the reason we see a lot of incest coming in the Western society. We are not seeing like it's a direct impact, but there is always a